Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modeling tutorial. We're going to continue with our Tesla here. In the previous episode we worked on the wheel arches and stuff starting to go around these flares and things around here. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go now and work around the bumper. We'll probably do both, and what we'll do is we may do a slightly different technique. So we've done subdivides everywhere else, but what we could maybe do with this is, I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind when we get to it. But I think what we'll do is we'll maybe use subdivides for this. I think the first thing though we need to do is I'm a bit too low here. And I think this needs to go up here. So I want that to be on there. I'm just having a look here as well. I've got obviously my reference images as usual, and I think this, we want that to be over here instead. So we kind of want to be a bit more in line with what we've got going on above it. So let me just real quick get rid of my X-ray. And I think for the most part we're probably going to want to be maybe something like that. So we're kind of just following down from this line here, but it is a little bit thicker. So we'll do something like that. Let's check our front view, because obviously after moving that we just want to make sure we're still in line with what we have over there. Now the idea here, I think, is it's a fairly simple shape, so let's go ahead and grab our edges here. So I'm just going to take these edges, I'm going to hit Control E, and it looks like what we want to do with this is we want to just take this straight over to this edge, and then we want to go straight inside here, and we can see that we are nice and straight. So I'm just going to take that in there to bring that in nice and straight across there. And then I think in our side view we're just going to want to extend this out here. Something like that. Okay. Now I think what we need for this is we do need to make sure we keep a level of definition inside here. So with this I'm going to pull that a little bit further forward, and then this one a little bit further down, just because we need that line in the middle there to be somewhat defined. And because this is a straight edge here, it's kind of hard to do that. So I think we're going to want to try and keep a shape something like that in here. Okay. And let's go ahead and take the rest of these now. I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to take this along in this direction, and holding down X, I'm going to snap that into the middle here. Okay, and double check how we're looking in here. So for the most part I think that's looking okay. Again, super simple shape, nothing to go too crazy about. What we want to do with this is we do need an indentation here, which looks like it's for some lights and grills and things. But before we do that, we may as well have a little finish here of the main shape. So I'm going to go ahead, take these, and hit Control E, and I think we'll just pull in on the blue there, something like that. Let me just isolate that selection real quick, because I just want to fix this. Maybe what I could do is, let's go for edge slide. Let's see if I can pull this down here, maybe just turn that off a little bit just to take it away. Okay, so I think we want to be something like that. I am just going to pull that in, maybe just to match that. We are going to have like an interior kind of cover for all of this, so that's not going to be an issue. Okay, so we pulled that in, something like that. We could obviously do the same here, so we'll maybe take this, I'm going to hit Control E on these edges here, we'll bring these in. Okay, so pulling on the blue has been a bit awkward, so let's just grab all of these. I'm just going to scale them off to make sure it's flat. Component view in Maya really is annoyingly inconsistent sometimes, but we'll bring that down to sit on there, and then we can target weld that one back. So we can do something like that. What we'll probably want for this is we'll probably want this to be down here. I don't know if we're going to want this, but we'll maybe maybe grab these and just pull them in this direction. Like that. Okay. And then let's maybe, I'm going to hit Control E on just this one. And we're going to pull that back in here. We obviously want to pull that down as well. So we'll maybe pull that to about this point, because we are wanting to make the rest of that shape in there. You can see that's going to come a little bit lower for us. And then I'm going to grab these, and I think, so I'm going to grab this long edge, that smaller one, and I'm going to bridge those together. Something like that. And then maybe what we could do just for now is take that across there. Do something like that. Okay, I'm going to go down here, I'm going to grab this, I'm going to extrude it in just a touch, like so. Just because I never like having one single edge, I like to add a little bit of depth to it, just to kind of help it out. We can delete this face here. If it was to smooth it, it would help a lot. We'll snap those to the center. And then we'll take this, I'm going to hit Control E, and we're going to pull this in. It looks like it's maybe about there. Okay. It does look like we've got some details in here, so we can see we've got a little bit of information. So maybe what we could do is let's go ahead and grab both of these. And I think we'll want to scale these in a touch. I think we want to kind of go something like that, and then we'll maybe take this edge here and we'll pull this to the left. I think we want that to be something like that. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. I'm going to hit duplicate. I'm going to grab that. Let's go for a center pivot real quick. I'm just going to pull this forward a touch. Okay. It's really hard to kind of see what's going on in there, but it does look like there is a little bit of detail, and so let's kind of go and add that in. So I'm going to go for an insert edge loop. It looks like they're circular on here, but on the actual car it looks like they're angled. So it looks like we're probably going to want to do something like that and that, and I'm going to grab this one, pull that in. It looks like maybe it's something like that, just on my reference image at least anyway. Okay, so we'll go and I'm going to hit, and maybe what we could do is let's maybe extract that. I'm going to grab the face, I'm going to hit Control E, I'm going to pull this forward, and then ever so slightly just bring that in. Something like that. And for these ones, I think maybe what we could do is let's go ahead and add, I think, multiple edge loops. Let's just go ahead maybe and add 4 in here. And also maybe let's go back to maybe go back to relative, and I'm just going to add 1. Just like that. So I'm going to go maybe grab all of those and these, do the same with this side. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to hit Control E, and again I'm going to pull out here on the blue, just a touch, do something like that, just to add a little bit of, I mean there does look like there's some detail in there, but we'll just add that in just to just to add a little bit of depth inside there too. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to go in here and add my chrome. So we created a chrome before, so I'm going to add that to there. Let's go ahead, I'm going to grab all the edges here. Maybe before we do, I'm just going to isolate this. I'm going to grab the rear portion here. Let me just pull that back. Okay. Looks like I need to reverse some of those faces, so that's fine. What I'm actually going to do with those rear faces though is I am going to apply my more basic material. Let's take this edge, I'm just going to pull that in a touch. Should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a bit, maybe just grab all of these frontal edges there. I'm going to run around all of these. Let's go for a quick bevel. Just maybe actually, maybe what we could do, let's maybe just take these ones. Okay, so the bevel's not working, so it looks like I've got a problem. So let me go ahead, grab all of these. Just going to merge them real quick. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so it's not letting me bevel these edges. Maybe I'll just try one last thing here and then quick merge with these. Unless it actually is working, it's just coming through. Alright guys, I'm just going to fix this in between. I'll just pause this and fix this real quick. Alright guys, we're back. So I just had to re-extrude that just a touch, just to make sure it works. So I've got all these edges selected here, basically everything that's part of this chrome material. I'm going to hit a bevel on that real quick. And it's just going to reduce it down just so I get some angles in this and just increase the segments maybe. So I'm going for a 0.1 plus 3 on there. So you can see that looks much sharper and nicer, which is fine. We could maybe bevel here as well. If I can select all those inner edges, let's maybe just drag and select everything here. Maybe we'll just drag and select every single one. Let's go for a quick bevel and see how that looks. Okay, so maybe something like 0.8 and 3 segments in there, just to make it look nice and neat. And then let's go ahead and we'll maybe drop on that one. Okay. So let's maybe grab all the major lines for the bumper here. So we'll grab all of those and take those there. I want to take these ones as well, I think. So we'll grab all of those. We'll obviously want to grab these two, and then we'll take all of those. Okay, we don't want the bevel on this to be too large. So maybe 0.6 and 3 segments in there. Looks like it should be quite good. We can see that we've got a nice nice section running all the way along there. I'm just having a look and I'm wondering if we're a bit too far out on there. in terms of that corner. I'm going to maybe add in 2 edge loops. I'm going to add them at the top and bottom inside there. Because we can't actually see it at the top here, but we can actually obviously see it in this view. So maybe what we'll do is let's maybe take that in a touch. Maybe something a bit more like that. And then obviously we've got a curved front, so we'll maybe want to match that up here too. So I'll drag all these. Okay, so I think we want that to be something a bit more like that. Okay, and then we can go ahead and let's bring in our shiny material for that too. So let's just quickly grab all these. I'm just going to go ahead and combine them and then quickly separate them. So we can kind of go a quick duplicate special for each of these. Before I do that, let me just double check, yeah, that's all fine. So take all those across. Okay. So that's looking quite nice as it rolls through there. Let's have a quick look then at the rear as well. What I'll do is I'm going to bring in a brand new fresh plane for this. Let's just bring this over here into position. And get this rotated around, do -90. I'm going to get rid of all of the subdivisions as well. We'll go ahead and bring this into position here. Let's quickly just hit X-ray. Okay, so I'm just going to take this, drop this in, and I think we'll do a similar idea with this. I think we'll go for the bevel rather than the subdivision. One of the main reasons why I subdivided everything is because I was a little bit worried about reflections. But what we could do is we can add a couple of extra in there just to help that out as well. Okay, let's take this and let's pull this out here. Maybe we'll go into our back view. Okay, I'm just going to bring it into the point where it looks like that corner here. So this corner is in line with that one. And then that should allow us to bring all the other ones into position. Like so. I'm trying to find a better balance for that. Okay, so it looks like we want to be something like that, which means for this we'll probably want to take this a bit further up. Let's maybe insert an edge loop. So I'm going to drop in, and we just put that relative. So maybe we're going to drop an edge loop here, or maybe drop one there. It's just because that is just going to end up cutting through, which we don't want. Okay, so I've got this inside here. Let me just switch to my rear facing. Okay, so I think what we'll maybe do is let's go ahead and grab this edge here. I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to pull this straight across. And actually, let's maybe pull it here. We'll maybe bring it to that location. This is still completely flat. So we can see that what we'll maybe want to do here is we just want to make sure that we're utilizing our side view nicely. Let's go again, hit that. I'm going to hit Control E. We'll take that in here. I'm going to try and hit rotations on this, just to make sure that we're going to be following around nicely. Let's go and hit an edge loop at the bottom here. Let's grab this lower edge. I'm going to hit Control E, straighten that off. And then holding X will take that into the middle bit there. So I'm going to go ahead and do what we kind of did at the front. I'm going to take all of these edges and I'm going to hit Control E. Rather than pulling on the blue though, I think what we'll do is we'll maybe just scale them. Okay, so I'll take those into about there. Maybe pull them on the blue just a touch. Okay, so we're going to want these ones back here. I'm going to hold X, we'll take that back to the center. Okay, take all of these, we want to intersect, and then we want to do the same over there too. Okay, so we're going for some pretty basic mesh on this rear side here, which isn't a problem. Let's go quickly. I'm just going to pull that higher just so it remains fairly consistent. Let me check my rear view because it doesn't look like these are the same height for some reason. Okay, so they actually are the same height. Okay, so that's fine. So we've got that inside there. We do want for this rear, again, if I grab my reference images here, there is something underneath here, but I can't see that on any of the references. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of this. I'm going to hit Control E, and I'm just going to pull this underneath, just make sure it's all squared off. And then I'm going to bring this down. Again, let's jump into our back view because we can see that I do want this to come drop down here. I'm going to grab these lower vertices and we're going to pull those to the right, like so. Do something like that. Okay, let's take all of these in. And then it's going to be a simple target weld back here. Just in there. Okay, super simple shape. So let's go ahead and grab everything we need. So let's go, we'll take, I don't want to take any of those. We might actually want to bring this in, so let's grab and insert edge loop super quick. We're going to want to maybe bring that in and drop that, something like that. And the reason for that is because we do probably want to bring this in here. So snap that down there, and that one there. Just going to tidy that. So we are going to want to grab all of those. Let's take all of these too. We do want to, maybe we want to hit bevel on that. We'll double check it. We'll grab all of those as well. And this one. So we wanted to grab basically everything that kind of matches up with the different lines in here. And let's go for a bevel again. We only want to be really small, just like we did on the front. Let's go 0.1 maybe. We'll go 0.1 and then we'll drop 3 segments in there. Maybe 0.075, something like that. Okay, so we can see we've got super nice angles to that. Pop our doubling on. Let's bring everything else back in so we can see that's looking really nice. Okay. Hopefully we should be able to just drop that straight into the center there and hit duplicate special, but we can't, so let's quickly just cheat. I'm going to grab in a cube. Let's go for these two. I'm going to combine. I'm going to separate, and then let's go for a quick duplicate special over them. We can get rid of those. Okay, so we're looking really nice just there. Okay, so I think for the side here, I think we're looking good in terms of depth for everything that's going on in this area. But I think before we do that, maybe what we could do is we could make a nice floor for this. So obviously we've already got a lot of the information in, so we'll probably only need to make bits in here. So let's maybe go ahead and grab a polygon primitive, and we'll go for a pipe. Let's bring this in here. Actually, no, let's not go for a pipe. We'll just go for a basic cylinder. I'll rotate this around here too. Let's go 90 degrees. I think maybe let's go reduce our sections down here. So let's go 1, 2. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe 9 should work. So let's just get rid of all of this and this. Okay. Take this into the center here. I'm just going to pull that up. Okay. So I think what we want to do is let's grab all the faces. I'm going to select all the faces here. I'm going to go mesh display and hit reverse on those so that we can see them on this side instead. I think what we'll probably want to do is we'll probably want to align these to existing geometry, obviously. So let's go ahead and bring in our wireframe. So I'm going to snap this one up here. Let's take this one down there. Snap these up here. So I think we'll probably want to do something like that in there. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to snap those to the same point. Let's actually just isolate the selection. If I can bring it into object mode first. So I'm just going to snap those to the same point and then just pull them back a touch. We're going to do this. I'm going to hold down V to snap those and then just pull them back on the red there. Okay, and then last one just here, we'll pull that back too. So just something like that. Let me grab all of those with my scale tool here and we'll just square that off. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that in a few times there. Okay. And then what we'll maybe do with those as well is let's just maybe bring those in. Maybe just about there. Okay. I think that should be fine for that. What we'll be able to do here then is grab these edges. I'm going to hit Control E and just hold X and bring that into the middle there. I'm just going to go ahead and hit Control D. Let's bring this back here. Okay. And then we're just really wanting to do the same. Let's actually leave that for now. I'm going to grab these, holding V. Maybe take that one out there. Okay, so we're not quite as clean up here. Let's maybe just quickly grab these and just take those up slightly. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and insert a loop just on here so that we can drop another one if I can select the right one. Drop another one just down there. I think we'll be okay with that side here. I think maybe what we'll do is we'll actually bring that in. Like so. And then the exact same for this. Just holding V. And then if we wanted to, we could add a bit more definition to this. We could do a little bit more work should we wish to. I'm going to just get rid of those for now. Okay, just grab all those rear facing ones. Again, just like we did with the last one, we're going to straighten those off once we put this one back in here. Okay, so straighten those off. Let's maybe grab this one, bring this down too, to find a nice mid-ground, and then we can hit the extrude on this one too. Take that into the middle. Okay, so they're looking fine. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to combine those together. Let me just center that pivot. Duplicate special, and then I think what we'll do for all these is we will add in, I think maybe, let's just go for that one just to kind of match the rest. So we have a nice floor now that kind of runs along underneath all of that. Right guys, so I think that's all do for this episode, and the next episode what we'll probably do is we'll maybe go around the windows and then start to plan for the wheels and tires, because I think the wheels and tires will take a little bit more time because the tires are pretty bespoke to the car. So that'll probably take a little bit of time. So in the next episode we'll start to run around the windows. Or we might start the wheels and tires first and save the windows till last, we'll see. Alright then guys, so if you enjoyed the episode, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you in the next one.